Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's
We were uh, we we were on a bit of a hiatus. My computer has been dead for a while. I got it repaired, and so I guess life stuff, if that is the best way to put it.
yeah, we're
Took a little
back.
break.
We're back now. We'll be back and steady again for everybody.
Yup.
Um, Merry Christmas too. I hope everybody had a good
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Forgot. Oh, and New Year's. Yeah,
Yeah, there's New
it's gonna be
Year's coming
tomorrow.
up too. New Year's is tomorrow.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus.
I'm going to Ben's house tomorrow.
Oh. Well, we
Sick.
are reading today. I'm a free diver. There's a place in the kelp forest where the fish won't go, and my friend disappeared. It's by good
By
old
Pennyworth.
Pentyworth,
Yup.
our favorite here on this channel.
Oh yeah.
I'm wishing him a Merry Christmas from here.
You
We're,
as well.
I think it's like a water story, obviously, and I
Yeah.
love that. I love that stuff. So I'm
It's
actually quite
sick.
excited.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna dive in here, pun intended.
Alright. I get it. I see how it is. I don't dive kelp anymore. I still free dive. Pools, sandy bottoms, clear blue drop offs where you can see the bottom from the surface. But not kelp. Not where the light turns into broken beams and you can't see what's behind the stalk next to your face. If you looked at my Instagram, you'd think I was lying. There's a video on there from last year. Bright morning off the central coast. Flat ocean. A six-pack character boat rocking lazily on a kelp bed.
Charter,
You can see me and my buddy. Huh?
charter boat,
Charter?
charter boat
Oh, what did I say?
character.
Oh shit. A six-pack charter boat rocking lazily on a kelp bed. You can see me and my buddy Tom doing warm-up drops off a float. Sea lions looping around the hull, all very ocean therapy vibes. There's nothing from below 15 meters in that forest. I deleted all of that. The official story is that Tom blacked out at depths and got tangled. Freediver error. Our fault. The report doesn't mention the band of dead water where the fish wouldn't go, or the thing that pulled on our float line like it was checking what we were.
Oh,
It was Tom's idea to book that trip. You take over from here.
we'd both finish a level 2 free diving. We both finished a level 2 free diving course a month earlier, down in La Jolla.
Think so.
Passed our 30-meter dives. Learned how not to die in blackout scenarios. Came home with new dive. Oh my god. Came home with
Watches.
new dive watches and an inflated sense of our own competence. Tom went all in. Sold his longboard to buy carbon fins. Started DMing comm divers. He followed like he was networking. Now, he wanted depth records and sponsor tags. I just wanted to stop feeling like my lungs were going to explode at 10 meters. Glass out there, he texted me that morning. Harbor webcams look like a lake. You working? I was off. I had my phone in my one hand and my mug of coffee in the other. From the office Keurig in the other.
Surprised you could read that, Keurig. I wouldn't have
Keurig?
gotten that. Yeah,
There's some things I get and some things I don't that I should get.
that's fair. That's very fair.
My boss had dropped the schedule for the next 2 weeks on my desk. Wall to wall shifts. If I say no, will you leave me alone? I wrote back. He sent a selfie from the dock instead of answering. Thick black 5mm suit peeled down to his waist, hood hanging behind him, a faded white charter boat with Caitlin painted on the stern, in chipped blue letters, and a captain who looked like he'd been carved out of a sun-damaged cigarettes.
Yeah.
Spots paid for, the caption read. You can nap on the way out. I stared at my calendar for another second, thought about 2 weeks of fluorescent lights and stale break room air, and caved. Give me 30, I typed. Don't let the caption leave without my pretty face. Captain, not caption. The harbor was quiet. When I got there, gulls yelling over the fish processing plant. A couple of guys pushing carts of tanks down the dock. Diesel and salt in the air. The kind of morning brochures like to pretend is every morning. Caitlin bobbed at the slip. The captain checked our names off a clipboard, then did the safety spiel on the board. Ton of someone. Board ton? Board ton. Did I read that wrong? Or was it just board ton?
I was opening my eggnog and I was not looking. I don't know where we are.
I'll keep going. Board ton of someone who's done. Done it 4 times a week for 20 years. Life jackets under the bench. O2 here, first aid kit here, he said, tapping each box with a knuckle. If you're gonna pass out, try not to do it under the boat. You guys are just breath holders, right? No tanks? Just freediving, Tom said, grinning. Ooh. I didn't realize they're freediving.
I didn't either. That's just scary.
We brought our own float and line. We'll stay on it. The captain looked at the orange float at Tom's feet and the coiled 100-foot line. Small anchor clipped to the end. He grunted. Every guy says he'll stay on the line, he said. Every season someone chases a fish and makes me call the Coast Guard. You want to screw around? Do it on someone else's boat. We clear? Yes, sir, Tom said, still smiling. He always smiles when someone challenges him. It was like a relief. We motored out of the harbor. Huh? Like a...
Reflex, not relief.
Oh. Oh. This is fine. We motored out of the harbor around the breakwater and into low, gentle swell. The water outside was stupidly calm. Small, rolling bumps, snow whitecaps, the kind of day you talk about for months afterward. Gonna drop you boys on the outside edge of the big bed. The captain yelled over the engine, pointing at a dark patch ahead of us. So was that Sunder? Sunder says 28 meters.
Sounder.
Sounder. Was it like sonar?
Yeah, I guess it's like I think it pings the bottom or something.
Oh, okay. Sounder says 28 meters. Lots of bait and bass under the canopy. You'll have company. So are they like fishing?
They are, I guess they're just swimming. They're just checking shit out. They're having a blast. It's a hobby. I
was kind of thinking like spearfishing. I've seen people like free dive spearfish before.
Oh, I want to do that one day. That's just so cool.
Yeah. Tom practically vibrated. Dude, if the viz is even decent, this is gonna be sick, he said in my ear. You brought your slate, right? I've tapped a little white plastic board clip to my belt. Yeah. I brought your underwear notepad.
Underwater.
Oh. I'm rusty,
right,
bro.
let me read
I'm rusty. Your turn.
That's fair. He'd made fun of me when I bought it. What? You gonna write poetry at 20 meters? Until he got tired of having to surface every time I wanted to tell him something. We passed over the kelp bed. From above, it looked like a thick mat of bronze coins. Oh, glossy in the morning sun. Sea lions popped their heads up and watched us go by, glistening and smug. The captain put us on the outside edge, where the kelp thinned enough that you could swim between stalks without sawing your mask strap off. He killed the engine, the boat settled, and the hull started its slow, rhythmic roll. We suited up. I pulled my 5mm over my shoulders, smeared spit in my mask, checked my snorkel clip. Tom fussed with his GoPro mount, making sure the little camera on his forehead was angled just right. Record or it didn't happen, he said, tapping it. Just don't headbutt the boat, I said. Those videos are harder to monetize. He laughed, hopped to the transom, and did a clean, flat back entry into the water. I followed less gracefully. The cold slid down the back of my suit in the way that it always does the first time. Like someone poured ice along my spine. Then the neoprene sealed, and it was bearable. We swam the float a few meters into the bed and dropped the anchor weight between a cluster of kelp holdfasts. Careful not to wrap the line around anything. The line hung down into the green. I put my face in the water and forgot about the boat for a second. Kelp is different from the top than it is from inside. On the surface, it's a mat. Underneath, it's a vertical forest, thick stalks rising from the bottom in tight groups, blades streaming out like flags in the swell, Sunlight slants down between them, turning the water gold and green. 10 meters down, I could see fish already. Blacksmith, little rockfish, bright orange Garibaldi. I like that. A sea lion shot past, just a blur of smooth muscle. It was beautiful. It was exactly the kind of setting you see in freediving videos, with soothing music and inspirational captions. That's the problem with a lot of horror. If you freeze frame it early, it looks like a screensaver. We started with warm-ups. Tom grabbed the line first, floated face down for a couple of minutes, slowing his breathing. Then he jackknifed, did a clean duck dive, and started pulling himself down hand over hand, fins trailing. I was watching his long black fins disappear into the kelp's lower levels. The force swallowed him quickly. My watch ticked time on my wrist. 20 seconds, 30, 45. He came back up after a minute, blew out, and did his recovery breathing. Short exhales and big inhales, like we'd been taught. Clear, he said between puffs. He pulled his mask up for a second, eyes bright. Man, it's insane down there. Like a real forest. Big bait balls at 10, 15. Big bait balls at 10, 15. Bass cruising through. You're gonna lose your mind. I wasn't sure if that was the phrase I wanted to hear. I tugged my mask back into place anyway. I'll go to 15, I said. Stretch my ears out. Don't move the float. He saluted. I floated face down, filling and emptying my lungs at a slow, steady rhythm. You can feel your heart rate drop if you pay attention, like someone letting off a brake pedal. One more inhale. Comfortably full, not max, and I tipped forward, hands sliding down the line. The water closed over my head. Sounds from the boat dulled, replaced by the small noises of my own exhale and the creak of kelp. I equalized every meter or two, pinching my nose and puffing gently, until the pressure behind my sinuses eased. The light dimmed, turned greener. Around 10 meters, I passed into the busy zone. Schools of anchovy flickered between blades. A Garibaldi rushed up to my mask, turned and flashed his orange side at me like a dare. Small rockfish hung near the stalks, their fins barely moving. I stopped around 15, one hand on the rope, and just hung there. Below me, the forest went on. Stalks thickened, closer together. The beams of light thinned. The bottom was somewhere another 10, 12 meters down from where I was, hidden in shade. And below where I hung, past maybe 20 meters, the movement stopped. Until where I was, life was everywhere. Little flicks of silver, flashes of color, shadows of larger fish pushing through the schools. Down there was nothing. No bass, no perch, no crabs on the holdfasts, just kelp blades swaying in slow motion. If there had been no fish anywhere, I'd have blamed temperature or oxygen or something else. We learned about it in passing, but the line was sharp, as if something had drawn a horizontal cutoff, and everything with gills got the memo. The hair on my neck prickled under my hood. My lungs tapped me on the shoulder, reminding me I wasn't down here on a tank. I turned, looked up, and pulled myself back to the surface. Breaking through is usually a small relief. This time it felt like getting pulled out of a room you'd walked into by mistake. "How's it look?" Tom asked, poking one arm over the float. "Pretty," I said, "and weird. Lots of activity up top. Nothing below 20, like a desert." He frowned behind the mask. His mask, like dead? Not dead, just empty. I hesitated, then added, "Feels wrong, like it shouldn't be that sharp." He shrugged. "Thermocline, maybe. Fish hang where the food and temp line up. You want the deep zone left to us." I tugged my slate up, flipped it around, and wrote, "Fish stop at 20, nothing moves lower. Gives me a bad feeling." I handed it over. He read it, then tapped his pencil against the plastic for a second, thinking. "Could be temp/O2. I'll go look closer. Stay online." He flashed me an OK sign, took a couple of big breaths, and dipped under again. I watched his fins track down the line. 5 meters, 10, 15. The schools parted around him. He passed my strange boundary, and kept going into the emptiness. At around 25 meters, he let go of the line and drifted a little to the side, turning slowly like he was panning for the camera. I held the rope and saw him hang there, a dark shape in the green, a little cloud of bubbles escaping his hood, and climbed toward me. He stayed longer than I liked. Tom could do 2-minute dives in class when he was focused, but this was cold water, a thick suit, current. I shifted my grip on the line, not pulling, just ready. Something moved below him. It was just at the edge of what I could see. A long, pale shape, thicker than any fish I've ever seen here, slid between two clusters of kelp at maybe 30 meters. I thought at first it was a trick of the light, the way shadows shift when surge moves the blades. Then it turned. Fish bend, eels bend, their whole body curves in one line. This thing's movement was segmented. One part of it seemed to pivot first, then the next, like someone turning a stack of boxes one at a time. I couldn't see ahead, just length, and those strange jointed turns. My hand went automatically to the handle of the knife on my belt, making sure it was still there. The pale shape angled up a little, and stopped, at the horrible specific sensation that it was listening. The way a dog cocks its head when it hears a sound you don't. I looked down the line for Tom. I didn't see him at first. Just the kelp. Just the band of nothing. Then a hand slid onto the rope from below. Gloved fingers wrapped tight. His other hand followed. He started pulling himself up with powerful, calm motions. No panic. He surfaced a couple of meters from the float, blew out and did his recovery breathing, eyes closed. "Big sand bass," he said after a few breaths, laughing a little, just out of range. "And yeah, dude, that band is freaky. It's like someone drew a line where the world stops." I didn't mention what I'd seen under him. I wasn't ready to give it a name out loud. Not yet. "Let's maybe not hang in it," I said instead. "We can stay in the busy part." He squinted at me. "You good?" "I'm fine," I lied. "I just don't want to stack deep dives on an empty stomach. A couple of shallower ones, then I want to go annoy the captain." He snorted. "You and your don't die kick. One more deep for me. You stay at 15 like a safety diver. That cool?" My slate was still in my hand. I almost wrote "no" in big letters and held it in his face. Instead I wrote, "You stay on line. I stay above you. One more, then shallow only." He tapped the OK sign against it, then against his own chest, like he was swearing an oath. We did the next one together. We floated side by side for a minute, breathing slow. Inhale, exhale, long pauses, feeling our heart rates settle. The surface layer was cold enough along my cheeks that my lips were slightly numb. "Last deep," he said, mostly out of habit. We both took a final inhale, duck dived and grabbed the line. It feels different when two people are on the same rope. You can feel the small, added tension, the tiny shifts when one of you kicks a little harder. His fins were just below me, flashing in my peripheral vision. 5 meters, 10, the kelp closed around us like pillars, in a strange cathedral. Fish flared away, then drifted back in. At 18 meters, the water temperature dropped. I felt it slide into my hood and along my jaw. A clean, sharp chill. I equalized. So did he. I could hear the faint crackle. At 22, we crossed into the empty band. The busy world of flickers and shadows ended. Below, dim green, brown stillness. We hung there for a second, both holding the rope, looking down. I don't know what he saw that I didn't. Maybe the thing moved differently for him. Maybe something passed closer. All I know is his eyes went from normal to wide behind his mask in a heartbeat. Pupils big and flat. He didn't bolt. A panic diver kicks. He just stopped. Fingers going white on the line. My own heart rate spiked. Every part of me that wasn't brain wanted to twist around and look behind me. Training said, "Don't spin around in kelp like an idiot." I didn't turn. I slid closer and wrapped my offhand around his forearm. He flinched. Then looked at me. Little bubbles leaked from his nose as he exhaled more than he should have. I pointed up, exaggerated. The "we go now" sign. He hesitated longer than I liked, then nodded, and started up. Slow and controlled. We rose through the empty band, through the color water, back into the busy zone. Fish reappeared. The light brightened. Something brushed my fin. Not kelp. I know what kelp feels like. Soft, slick, a little give. This was firmer, cooler in a different way. It slid along the blade from toe to heel, and then was gone. Too deliberate to be surge. Every muscle in my body wanted to kick hard and get away from whatever that was. I forced my legs to keep their slow rhythm. Fast, sloppy kicks waste oxygen. I needed it more than I needed distance. We broke the surface and did our recovery breaths. My hands shook a little on the boat. Float. You feel that? He asked breathy. Something big moved down there, like a log in a current. Something touched my fin, I said, throat dry. Slid along it. Not kelp. Probably just a seal, he said automatically. Then seemed to hear himself. There had been no seal silhouettes on that dive. Okay, you take over.
That's creepy, bro.
I'm enjoying this. This is badass.
Dude, that creeped me out so bad. It's like
when it was like turning like segments at a time instead of all at once.
Ugh. I want to know what it is.
I do as well. I feel like it's a big moray eel or something.
I don't know. I don't know if it's an eel. Like, I think it's like, I don't really know. He definitely.
We'll find out.
Well, he didn't really say he could tell what it was, right? He just saw like the shape of it.
Yeah, like it was length more than it was a creature.
Ugh. I did not like that. God.
It's fair.
I thought. So did his friend not see it? Like, I'm assuming he might have seen it when they went down now, but like when he was down there the first time, he said it was below him, right?
Yeah. And he said he must not have seen it. Or the other guy must not have seen it at all. I think he would say something.
Okay. I pulled up my slate, wrote with my hand cramping tight. I don't like this. We should go back to the boat. He read it, looked at the boat, tiny and little too far away for my taste, and made a face. Conditions are perfect. 1-2 more shallow only. Then we bail. I wanted to say no. I really did. But you don't go from we're fine to trip over easily, especially when you're out there on someone else's time. Shallow, I said. Nothing below 10. Stay where we can see the hull. If anything pulls the line again, I'm out. So they still want to... His friend wants to stay in the water after that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He hasn't seen it. He just, I guess he just thinks it's like a fish or something.
Oh, he said his eyes went wide, so I'm assuming he saw something.
Oh.
Did you remember that?
Yeah, his eyes went wide and flat. His fingers went white on the line, yeah.
Deal, he said. He's actually stuck his hand out above water. I slapped it. We unclipped the anchor weight and swam the float a bit closer to the edge of the bed, where the kelp thinned and the surface light punched down more cleanly. I could see the underside of the Caitlin now, that ladder, the hull rolling. We did a few easy dives, 8, 10 meters, weaving in and out from out of the upper canopy. Anchovy schools glittered in the sunbeams. A sea lion rocketed. A sea lion rocketed by once, close enough that I felt the pressure wave on my suit. For a bit, I almost managed to relax. I still checked the nothing band every time I looked down. It was still there, a horizontal limit where all the life stopped as if cut off. On the surface between drops, Tom was buzzing. Dude, this footage is going to be insane, he said. If I don't look like a total kook. Kook? What's that mean? Kook? Oh,
kook.
Kook. Yeah. I've never seen kook spelled out. Kook. I'm gonna cut together a clip for that brand contest. Make sure you tag screamed internally. I said accurate hashtag. He laughed and ducked his face back into the water. I was floating on my back, staring at the sky, when the first big wrong thing happened. Uh-oh. The float jerked. Not a little bob from a swell, a hard sudden yank from below that pulled part of the buoy under and dragged it a full foot toward the forest center. The rope between my hand and the float went tight enough that the nylon creaked. I rolled over fast, mask snapping back down, heart jumping into my throat. Tom had just broken the surface by the float, half a body length away, so I knew it wasn't him pulling on anything. The line dipped under my hand again, harder. The float dunked water washing over its top. The clips on its sides rattled. "Grab the line," I said, out of breath even though I was on the surface. "Dude, let's go if it's snagged," he started. Let go, sorry. Dude, let go if it's snagged, he started. The tension vanished. The rope went slack, then slowly straightened again in gentle surface swell. I peered down along it. The anchor weight we unclipped was clipped to the float now, so there was nothing heavy on the end. The line just hung, disappearing into the green. Between two stalks about 10 meters down, the light bent slightly. Something pale slid away from the rope, deeper into the kelp.
Ugh.
Why would you stay, bro?
Yeah, and after you see that, bro, it's
I'm
like,
like,
get out. That's not anything abnormal.
No, after the first thing, I'd be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, the creature's like, nah, we gotta go, man. I saw a demon.
I'm sorry, bro. We'll come back later. We'll go somewhere else.
Go to somewhere else, yeah.
I caught the jointed, segmented way it moved before it vanished into the shadow. It had been holding our line and then decided to let go. I didn't think I pulled the whole length up hand over hand until the end snapped out of the water. No kelp wrapped around it. No debris. I'm assuming. Debris. Just the bare wet rope. "I'm done," I said. My voice sounded flat. "That's it? I'm going back to the boat." Tom opened his mouth, then shut it. For the first time since we'd left the harbor, he really looked at my face. "Okay," he said. He sounded like he meant it. "Okay. Let me do one last pass under the canopy, and then we both go in, yeah? Just shallow. I won't even go past the first holdfast." He said it like a smoker promising to only have one more cigarette that night. Habit. Momentum. "No deeper than 10, I said. "You stay where I can see you the whole time. If you chase a fish, I swear to God, I'll cut your fins off." He gave me a weak grin. "You love me too much. I'll be right back." He took 2 or 3 calm breaths, duck dived, and slipped under. I kept my face in the water. I wasn't going to be the guy staring at the sky when his buddy vanished. He leveled around 8 meters, just under the sun-speckled canopy, and swam parallel to the edge of the bed. A school of bigger fish, the kind that make people spend too much on spear guns, hung just around from him. White sea bass, probably thick bodies, faint stripes. What are white sea bass?
They're bass in the sea and they're white.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Thanks.
Yes. I got you, bro. I got you. If you ever need to know anything else, ask me.
He didn't have a gun with him, but instinct is instinct. He angled toward them a bit, curious. They flared away.
Yep.
They flared away, then reformed, moving just ahead of him. He followed for a few kicks, still in the upper band. I was about to tap on the float and signal him back, when the entire school snapped upward in a tight silver column. Ooh. Something pale shot through the space they'd been in. Someone shoot a spear gun at them from below. For a second, it looked like someone had fired a thick cable along the bottom of the kelp. It was that fast. One moment there was nothing. The next there was a length of pale body curling around Tom's leg. Oh.
Oh no.
He didn't even have time to react. The creature, whatever it was, looped around him again, higher. A coil across his thigh, another around his chest. The ridged sides folded and tightened in one fluid motion. His body snapped, rigid. His fins kicked once, purely reflex. A stream of bubbles blasted out from his mask and hood. He didn't have a regulator in his mouth to lose. That was the only difference between this and a tank diver's nightmare. I didn't think about it. There wasn't time. I spat my snorkel, took the biggest breath I could in a single panicked inhale, and went down. The water closed over me fast. The taste of rubber from the mouthpiece, salt, and adrenaline was all I had for a second. I narrowed everything to 3 points: the float line under my hand, the dark shape of Tom wrapped in a pale coils, and the pressure in my chest. He was at maybe 9 meters, not deep, but with something around his chest and neck and no air. Every second counted double. The creature's body was thicker than it had looked from above. Up close it was about as big around as my torso. Oh.
Damn.
The skin was dull, clamshell white, with a faint, irregular pattern under it like veins or fibers. Along its sides, those ridges I'd felt earlier flexed and moved in small waves. Tom's face behind the mask was red, eyes wide and unfocused, mouth strained against the strap. One coil ran diagonally across his jaw and temple. I could see the skin under it already flushing where the ridges dug in. So it has like tentacles, or does it have like?
It might be like a not an enemy, like kind of like an anemone, but it's like, you know, the jellyfish stingers, how they're like I'm thinking something like that, where it's like it's hard to describe. You know what a man-o-war is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, it's like a little creature made of, or it's a creature made of a bunch of little creatures, kind of. And I'm thinking that might be what this is, because if it's got like little stinger thingies that are like digging into his face, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or maybe it's like a sea serpent thing.
I'm thinking like kind of like a sea serpent thingy.
It's fair.
I don't know. I grabbed that coil with one hand. It felt wrong. Not like fish, not like shark. There was a give to it, but not the right kind. The ridges pressed into my glove like suckerless suction cups, tasting the neoprene? I don't know. The pressure around my wrist increased. Neoprene?
Yeah, I think so.
The pressure around my wrist increased. The ridges tightened for a heartbeat. I had a very clear sensation of being measured. I yanked my knife with the other hand and drove it down across the band. The blade bit. There was resistance, then sudden give. Dark fluid, almost black in the green water, puffed out into the space between us. This coil spasmed. The whole length of the thing flexed. The water around us shook. Kelp around us snapped upright and back. Leaves slapped against my mask and hood. A stalk somewhere near my fin cracked like a broom handle breaking. The band across Tom's chest loosened half an inch. He surged in it, trying to use the slack. Another coil shifted up around his shoulders, tightening there instead. He was out of air, you can tell. Even without words, the panic in his eyes shifted from "this hurts" to something more primal. His movement got jerky and uncoordinated. My own lungs burned. I'd taken a crap breath? Oh, okay. I thought
Taking a crap.
He just drew up his deuce in the water. My own lungs burned. I'd taken a crap breath and then spent it fighting. CO2 alarms went off all through my body, loud and insistent. Went for another coil, lower this time, where it held his legs, and the float line. The knife sank maybe halfway before it hit something tougher. I leaned on it, feeling the blade grind against cartilage, or bone, or something else solid. The creature's body twisted, a section near what I think was its far end flared wider. The ridges there flattened, revealing a dark patch that opened and closed once. So I'm thinking like a squid now.
Well, that's fair. It might be a big squid octopus thing, but there's hard stuff inside of it, so it's like those things don't got bones.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see teeth. I saw the shape, the roundness, the flex, and the way it angled toward me. A sound rolled through me. Not something I heard in my ears, a vibration low, steady, like a big diesel engine idling against my ribs. Every instinct I had screamed run in a language older than actual words. That's cool. My chest
That's
cramped, my throat spasmed, my body tried to force an inhale. If I took a breath, I'd die down here.
Down there.
Die down there with him. That fact cut through everything. I let go of the knife. I grabbed Tom's shoulder instead, kicked upward, hard, using the line as much as my legs. The coil around his leg held. The one around his chest tightened again, as the creature reacted to our movement, trying to maintain its grip. I got it, bro, God. For one awful second, we didn't go anywhere. It was like pulling against a solid post. Then something gave. Not the creature, Tom. His hood slipped. Uh-oh. The friction of the coil across his jaw ripped the mask strap free. The mask spun away, bumping my shoulder. His face suddenly bare to the water, looking wrong. Eyes bloodshot, lips pale, bits of dark fluid in the corners of his mouth, from where the ridges had scraped his cheeks. He convulsed once more. His hand, which had been clawing at the coil, dropped. I've practiced rescuing unconscious divers in controlled pools in class, with instructors watching and safety divers on hand. You learn the feel of dead weight. It's a specific thing, limp and heavy. I felt the snap into him like a switch. The vibration in the water grew stronger. The rigid side of the creature brushed my thigh as it repositioned, and the line of the float slid along its body. The lungs went from "this hurts" to "we are done." Instinct beat training for me anyway. I let go. I wish I could say I didn't. I wish I could say I held on until my vision went black, and we both woke up on the surface, being resuscitated by heroic strangers. I didn't. I pushed off his shoulders instead, aimed for the lighter water, and kicked like I've never kicked before. The kelp blurred, the empty band and the busy band, all of it went past, too fast to register. My ears screamed from the scent rate. I felt something tug at my fin once, then slip. I cleared the surface in a mess of spray and foam, half choked on my own reflex inhale. The sky was too bright. The boat was still there. The float bobbed a couple of meters from me, rope trailing limp. Tom didn't surface. "Where is he?" Someone yelled from the boat. It took me a second to realize it was the captain. So was the captain not like watching them?
He wouldn't be able to see in the kelp, but I'm assuming he was watching him. That's why he was yelling. He was just probably watching them surface every now and then.
Okay, I feel like they were down there for a minute. Like for, you know what I mean?
They're down there for a while, but I don't think he's gonna like jump under.
Hang on. Alright, I got it. Hang on.
Okay.
I couldn't answer at first. I was coughing, water and snot, a little bit of bile burning my throat. Diver under, I finally managed, waving one arm. He's under? The captain hit an air horn 3 times and started yelling for other divers to get out of the water. Someone on deck threw a life ring without thinking. It splashed near me and drifted away. I sucked air, pulled my mask up over my forehead, and rolled to look down. The kelp obscured everything. Stalks, blades, shafts of light. A nothing band, no Tom, no pale coils. The float line hung free and swaying. For a second I thought I saw a long pale shape again, deeper in, moving parallel to the edge of the boat. Then the boat's shadow slipped over us. My visibility dropped. The Coast Guard was called. The captain had to. We were still on the clock. I remember being hauled up the ladder, my suit dripping, my knees shaking hard enough that I had to sit on the deck. Someone wrapped a towel around my shoulder, and I kept saying, breathe, like I'd forgotten how. They'd made me lie down anyway, and put oxygen on me because that's what you do when someone comes up panicked and fast. A crewman kept asking me how deep I'd been, how long I thought stayed, if I'd blacked out. I didn't black out, I said, over and over. I left him down there. They chalked that up to shock. The other divers tank guys, who'd been doing an entirely different sight on the same boat, stood around in various states of half-suited and stunned. The captain paced. He wouldn't look at the water. The Coast Guard boat arrived, then another official boat with sonar. They dropped a marker buoy near where we said we'd last seen Tom. They tried to put a team down, but by then surge had picked up, and the kelp had shifted visibility, dropped below anything they considered safe. They searched until the light went. They searched until the next day with ROV cameras and more sonar. They found bits of kelp, rocky ledges, one of Tom's fins. Not the one I'd felt tug. That one was just gone. They didn't find him. My statement was that afternoon in the harbor office was a mess. I sat in a metal chair in a half-peeled wetsuit, shivering under sweats and a loaner jacket, and told them what I remembered. Their officer, a guy in a polo with a clipboard and tired eyes, wrote entanglement and possible hypoxia. Hypoxia? Did I say that right? Hypoxia?
Yeah, I think that's hypoxia.
Okay. And Buddy attempted rescue. On his form. He circled no tank, underlined it twice. He asked me 3 times if Tom had been chasing a fish. Yes, I finally said. Kind of. He followed a school. He was still He followed a school. He was still shallow. Something grabbed him. Something, he repeated. Pen hovering. Like kelp? Like an animal. He paused. What kind of animal? I couldn't have said sea lion. I could have said shark. Those would have slotted? Yeah. Those would have slotted neatly into his paperwork. I don't know, I said. Long, pale, no fins I could see, coiled around him, ridges along the side. It squeezed. He looked at me for a long second. His expression didn't change, but I could feel the quiet click of him moving by account. From useful to compromised. We don't have anything like that in local species database, he said finally. Sounds like you might have been disoriented. It happens when you're out of breath. Hang on. It happens when you're on breath hold and working hard. I know what disorientation feels like. I snapped. I did. Your stupid class. This wasn't that. He wrote...
Okay, let me take over.
Okay.
He wrote, reported, unknown animal, on his form without comment. Tom's GoPro was still in his head when the coil wrapped around his face. I saw it. I remembered my fingers brushing the mount when the mask slipped. They didn't find that either. The story the news ran the next day was the one you'd expect. Local freediver missing off Morro Bay. The headline said under a photo of Tom from his own social feed. Mask on his forehead, grin wide, subhead about danger of breath hold diving and without proper safety protocols. They called me his instructor trained buddy, and said I attempted rescue but was forced to surface. They quoted the Coast Guard about shallow water blackout, about how quickly a diver can lose consciousness at depth. No one printed the part where I said something had wrapped around him. The captain didn't go back to that bed for the rest of the season. I know because I kept checking his charter calendar and asking around. He'd anchor at other spots, talk up other reefs. If anybody asked about the kelp forest, he'd say conditions weren't good that week. When people in the freediving group chats brought the incident up, they framed it like the article had blackout overconfidence, probably got hung up and couldn't clear his snorkel. The usually cautionary story phrases. I didn't correct them. It would have turned into a fight, and I didn't have the energy for. One guy messaged me privately. another local diver I barely knew in person. "Hey man," he wrote. "I was out at different kelp bed last month. Not same site, but same coast. Not sure if it helps, but I saw that thing you wrote about, the fish line, where everything stops. We had that too. No fish below maybe 18 meters? My buddy thought it was temp. Didn't feel like that. Asked him if anything touched his line, if anyone didn't come back up. He said no, they bailed when it fell off. Gut didn't like it," he wrote. "Figured we'd save the PR for a day I'm less attached to." I didn't sleep that night. Every time the fridge compressor kicked in, that low hum made me sit up and stare into the dark, listening for the sound of something sliding along the outside wall. After a week of that, I unplugged the fridge one night just to prove to myself the sound wasn't in the house. It wasn't. I still heard it anyway, low in my chest, like an afterimage. That's not really a neat lesson here, or there's not really a neat lesson here. I could say, don't free dive alone, or always stay on the line, or respect your depth limits. All of that is true, and you should do it. But we were together. We had a line. We stayed within our training on paper. We did everything you're supposed to. Put in a brochure. Something out there still found us. If you dive kelp, pay attention to what the life around you is doing. Fish no more than you do. If every bait, school, and bass stops at the same depth for no obvious reason, ask yourself why. If your float line gets pulled from below hard enough to dunk the buoy, and the captain swears the anchor is up, don't tell yourself it's just surge. And if your buddy takes the slate and writes, "I don't like this. We should go back to the boat?" Question mark. Listen to him. Even if you think the viz is too good to waste. Sometimes the thing you worried about isn't hypoxia or entanglement. Sometimes it's something that already learned where you have to breathe and is just waiting at the edge of that. Quiet. Testing how hard it has to pull to see what you'll do. That's pretty good.
That was very good.
I'm kind of curious about what it was.
Yeah, I could really wish. I kind of wish you would have kind of like maybe dropped a little more hints.
Well, I think it's the point, though.
No, I know it's the point, but I want to know.
We'll have to ask him.
I'm gonna ask him because I wanted to know what it was.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like, I thought I knew what it was, and then there was like, but had like a bunch of other shit, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is anymore.
It's just a mystery creature.
It's cool. I mean, I enjoyed that. I found it like a little weird that like uh that they stayed like after that.
His buddy kept wanting to go down over and over again, even though like his one friend was so freaked out about it. But that kind of stuff does happen.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It was just like, and that's not even like I'm not saying from like a writing standpoint. I'm just saying like it was just weird. Like,
Yeah.
like his just friend was just like super insistent. I was like, bro,
He just wanted the clout, bro. He wanted that.
I was like yelling at the character in my head. I'm like, why?
You're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like when you watch a slasher movie and they're like, "Oh, we should split up." It's like, why?
No, don't do that. That's funny.
Yeah. Even on the last dive, it's like, why would you split up? It's like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was a little like a little rough for us, to be honest. I struggle a little bit there. I am very rusty.
On hiatus.
So I apologize for that for everybody who's listening and whoever makes it this far. We are rusty, and we'll be getting back into it though. So we'll get back into our little groove here.
Little rhythm. Yeah.
But anyways, that's all we got for today. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.
We'll see you next time.